gentlemen, welcome back to the 2016 YugiTuber Grand Championship. For this match, we have the infamous Vexacus4666 going up against the British boy himself, JamieTheKid00. And with us for this lovely commentary, we have with us the one, the only, RH Nisker.
Hey buddy, hey Cimo, it's good to be here.
I did all that, and you're just like, hey buddy.
Well, it's in Canada land, it's midnight, you know. It's late, but I'm excited.
Hey, it's midnight in some places in our country, too.
I'm excited.
Okay, so it looks like we have Vexacus, who's playing Draco Pals, it looks like. Actually, no, he has Sky Iris, so he's actually playing, like, Draco Magicians, maybe? And we have Jamie using a Max C on the Draco face-off, so I think that's a really interesting time to use Max C.
He probably just wants to put a little bit of pressure on him. Maybe he doesn't have the strongest hand and it's kind of trying to fake him out to not commit too much to the board because Jamie might not have like a big response or a powerful hand to kind of respond.
That's what I would guess too, because actually Vexy going for the special summon because it's almost like he's wanting to kind of deter him from that, like you were saying. So that kind of, to me, would say, like, my hand is bad. Like, don't special summon whatever wins off of Draco face-off.
Yeah, or, you know, my hand is bad, I'm trying to draw into something. But either way, probably doesn't mean the best thing for Jamie. And if that's the case, I think Vexy might be reading into that.
It's true, because, you know, we got two really skilled players, actually, here going at this. So I'm actually really excited to watch this. This is going to be good.
See, I actually don't know that much about Jamie. I just learned about his channel this year, so I actually don't know how good of a player he is, but it'll be interesting to see here.
Jamie's actually really seasoned. He tops a lot of regionals around just around Britain in general, so he's really especially like in the European YugiTubing community, like he's up there with like some of the the most competitive like players, I would say, at least. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, good first opening move for Vexy, even though he gave Jamie the 1-for-1, but he has the warning and the strikes, so he could even just stop this Terror Top if he wanted to, which, I mean, honestly, I would if I had two back row like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't want to give him... I mean, at this point, you're assuming he's playing, like, Burning Abyss, or he's playing maybe some other crazy shit that involves speedroids, but, I mean, I would assume he's playing BA of some sort.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have used the warning right away. Yeah, it's a big play to stop, but I kind of would have waited to see for sure what he was playing, and yeah, it is in the NBA.
Yeah. I feel like it's good, though, because you don't want to give them that free Dante, because that, especially now that people are just running this engine in mass, it's like that free Dante can take them and make them so far ahead that I feel like it's a good call. He could have probably used Strike instead of Warning, but I feel like it was a good call hitting it one way or the other.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and so Cordero striking the Dante summon. So Dante's going to be able to recur the only card in Grave, which is the Cagna, and then the Rhino's also going to trigger as well. So Jamie's going to possibly be able to get a whole nother... he could possibly make a whole nother Dante off this, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, seeing this duel, I haven't, seen a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Being played lately, but it's crazy to see how fast the game that in... I think, is this Jamie's first turn? Vexacus is down like half his life points. And it's just crazy to see that the power and the cost of these cards and how far they've kind of come.
It's true. And I mean, that's what Burning Abyss does, though. Burning Abyss is so good at just basically making your opponent dwindle down on their resources, and it's just the deck that really doesn't quit. I mean, look, he's already gone back into another Dante, so it's like he's basically back right where he started, and now Cordero without both Strike and Warning now to back it up, so...
Yeah, insane how BA just stayed on top somehow through everything, through the entire grind of every list and every new archetype. They just somehow still managed to make it.
Even through the newest ban list, too, like, I am still in shock that deck did... The deck got better, technically, because Allure of Darkness is now at 2.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to choose to go that route, you can. So, it looks like Jamie going ahead and ending his turn on a Beatrice, which is a really good note to end on.
Yeah.
Now he can just disrupt any of Cordero's plays. He's also going to get the end-phase Scarm, searching most likely for the Tour Guide. Oh, he's actually going for Seer. Interesting.
Maybe he already has a Tour Guide?
He probably already has Tour Guide, if that's the case, yeah.
Wow. I think Beatrice is just that. It's just a strong ending play. I think that's what Burning Abyss really... Just that extra thing on top to just add to how... Better than like a Downer Magician.
Absolutely, yeah. Beatrice is just being able to Lavable chain a card during either player's turn. The amount of disruption that card has is so good. And the fact that it leaves over a Pilgrim, or I guess a Virgil, if it dies, is just crazy.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just crazy.
I know, this game is just evolved.
Just crazy.
So Cordero having the monkey board, though, so it means he has a 1-card pendulum scale if he wants to go ahead and grab the Joker off of this. He needs to be careful to kind of play around the Beatrice a little bit to just kind of be wary of whatever Jamie wants to stop. But he decides to complete the scale instead, which I find kind of interesting.
I guess he's going to try to go for either a Synchro Xyz or a double Synchro. A double Ignister might... Can he make double Ignister? No, he can't. What am I saying? He's going to make, I guess, an Ignister and a rank 4. Maybe a Dweller. That could be a pretty strong play right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dweller is probably going to be the best thing because at this point, Cordero's main goal is to stop Beatrice from triggering. So, because just if that happens, then he's just screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, Draco Pals have a lot of ways to kind of make that not the case. I mean, they have Dweller, they have Ignister, they have some options. But once those options, the thing is, he has to play around Beatrice farfing anything that he goes into.
Yeah, but right now, I think if he just goes into the Dweller right now, then he could just be safe. I think that's the play he has to go for right now. Because then if he chains Beatrice to that, he could still chain the Dweller to pitching for cost.
Exactly, yeah. So being able to do that in response to Beatrice, so even if he gets rid of the Farfa, even if the Abyss Dweller were to be removed from play, anything that gets sent to the grave that turn isn't going to trigger, so then he could potentially just go off from there. And plus, that would also waste the Beatrice, so then he would be free to Ignister at that point. So it looks like he's Cordero's doing exactly what you were just saying, going to send off the Beatrice, and as we stated as well, he's going to chain the Abyss Dweller just to kind of get some sort of... Ooh, the Veiler, though! We weren't expecting that!
No. I thought he forgot to force activation on the resolution of the Pendulum, but he had the Veiler, so good for him.
Yeah, really, really strong play there, because now this is going to turn the entire turn back in Jamie's favor.
Well, do we know that he had the Farfa? We didn't know that he had the Farfa, right?
I don't know. I think he actually detached it from Beatrice. I think it was underneath it.
So that's okay. Okay, so then, yeah, wow, huge play.
Yeah, so now he's sending the Luster away, so now Cordero isn't going to be allowed to basically go into Ignister at all, though.
Mm-hmm.
He does have the Odd Eyes fusion that he just searched off the Sky Iris, but it looks like he's just going to set that. I was going to say, he can't really do anything with that at the moment, but, I mean, I guess with that Luster being banished off the Farfa, he really doesn't have a lot he can do. He's kind of just stuck with the board.
Mm-hmm. That Sky Iris is pretty good, though. Just to have that option, both this turn and next turn, hopefully, if it doesn't get destroyed.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see now with the new Forbidden list how Draco Pals is going to evolve, like if they're going to adopt the Magician engine for the most part, or just to kind of see what's going to happen.
They really hit that. Like, this really wasn't a Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list. This was a Draco Pals ban list.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, it's a little bit crazy how unfairly, I'm saying unfairly, even though it is the best deck, unfairly, they pretty much only went after that deck and like nothing else.
Yeah, they should have hit like something.
Yeah.
From a little bit from like maybe, even if they hit, I don't know, if they hit one of the Monarch Searchers, like they hit Upstart, might as well hit a Monarch Searcher.
Yeah. Or even, like, a lot of people are saying, like, get, like, in OCG, Pantheism's at 1, but it's ironic that, Upstart's at 1, but yet Pantheism's still at 3, which I still find to be the funniest thing ever.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't make sense. Nothing really makes sense.
A 1-for-1 is bad, but a +1, that, oh my god, like, I just don't even want to, but... Anyway, getting back to the match, Jamie going a little bit on the offensive here. He's attacking over the Dweller to just clear that off the board because he put himself in such a spectacular position. He really has just a lot of resources now. We know he has a Rubik in hand now off the Scarm Search from last end phase. He has another BA monster as well, but he really only needs Beatrice at the moment to kind of just to fuck shit up. Yeah,
he's in a Beatrice being such a reactive monster in a format like Pendulums where you need to keep popping back row constantly, and MST I guess kind of like isn't really fast enough. Something like Beatrice is just constant and more reactive, and that's just what Burning Abyss needs to compete, and they're very lucky that they got that. I don't know why Konami is giving them so much love.
I still find it a little bit funny how, for a TCG exclusive archetype, Beatrice was released as an OCG only card for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought the disconnect there was a little bit ironic. But in any case, looks like Cordero is going to attempt to go into the Ignister. Jamie's probably going to Beatrice here, because if he has the second Farfa still in deck, he's going to be able to get rid of that for the turn, which is basically going to force Cordero to end his turn, because he's not really going to have any other plays that he can do. So I'm curious to see how he's going to proceed with this. The other option is, too, if he runs Alec, he could negate the Ignister for the turn as well. So he's got some options.
Yeah, I don't think Jamie's sweating this one.
Yeah, and we see he runs Valor as well. So I mean, he's got a lot of different tricks up his sleeve.
No, I'm wondering if Cordero plays. I'm assuming he plays the Ariadne, because I'm thinking that, in this game state, I feel like playing all these counter traps that are really powerful but with such huge costs could just really screw you if you draw into them early game rather than searching them with Ariadne.
Yeah. So Cordero completed the scale. He got the draw off the Turtle, and now he can actually Pendulum Summon here, which can put a couple more threats on the board. So maybe Jamie was deciding to opt and wait to use Beatrice until he sees a much more, greater threat, because apparently he didn't see one just with the sole play of the Ignister.
Yeah, I think until you see the actual Pendulum Summon, you really can't tell what their turn is going to look like.
Really interesting how he decided to max C after the Pendulum Summon, not before. Usually you'll see, like, when someone completes a scale, people will max C right before the Pendulum Summon, but now he's doing it right after, which I find kind of bizarre. So it just kind of creates a different dynamic here that Cordero has to potentially work with.
Well, I think that was the right move, because if he did it before, then all Cordero would have to do is use the Ignister and get rid of the Beatrice. He wouldn't have to commit so much to the board, and he wouldn't really need to Pendulum Summon, and Jamie would just go neg-1 and lose the Beatrice.
Potentially. I guess we're going to see how this plays out here. It looks like he's going to use the effect of Ignister to be able to pop one of his cards and go ahead to potentially spin away the Beatrice. So we're going to see what happens now. She's going to use her effect, detaching Dante. I don't know what he's going to send, because Ignister is still going to resolve appropriately at this point, because even if he sends like an Alec, the Alec is still not going to resolve. It would resolve in a new chain, which would be after Beatrice got shuffled back.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to shuffle away the Beatrice, so that leaves Jamie with an open field now. But Dante's going to be able to get something back, and Farfa's going to be able to banish away, most likely... well, actually, I don't know. Luster's at 1, so... Ignister's at 1, so maybe he won't target the Ignister with Farfa. I'll be curious to see what he does target.
I'm trying to think.
I don't think Jamie can... I'm trying to think if Jamie can... if Vexacus can OTK off this right now. Because it's an open board. Farfa's going to take something. And he's actually targeting Master with the Farfa. So I'm just curious to see how Cordero's going to go ahead and play this out right now.
He already Pendulum Summoned. I don't think he can OTK.
I don't think so either. I mean, he could potentially... I think he might have something in Grave if he Magisters. You just have to see. I'm trying to think, like, what's the best... Because the issue is, even if he would want to get as much damage on board right now, but the problem with that is that he's under max C, so it's like he's probably weighing right now, okay, how far do I really go at this point? So it looks like he's actually just deciding to attack with the 2 monsters he has, the 3 monsters he has on field. Probably not going to play into the max C. I don't really know how much more else he can really do. I mean, going into Dinosaur is not really going to do a whole lot at this point. And his only Abyss Dweller is gone from what it looked like from when we saw the extra deck earlier, which is unfortunate. Like, if he had a second Dweller, that would be perfect, but...
Yeah, I think that with the amount that BA recycles, you wouldn't want to give them any more advantage. I'm surprised he even decided to... I guess he would have to go for that ending play. That's the kind of the strongest ending play.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it with the Magister, going into the Magister, he only 1-for-1'd on the Max C, because he used the Max C, like I said, after the Pendulum Summon, so he actually, rather than Jamie taking a minus, he actually just broke even on that going into the Magister. So he wanted to get the Joker in his hand. I don't think that was a terrible play.
It was a fine exchange. I thought it was going to be a little more exciting, but yeah, it was a fine exchange.
Yeah. So Jamie actually going now into Virgil, which you don't see Virgil too often anymore. With Beatrice kind of taking the spotlight now, but that doesn't mean Virgil is a bad card by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Virgil came out and it was like a $50 to $60 secret?
I think I pulled one, actually. I pulled one pretty early on. Great card.
Yeah.
Great card.
So Virgil spinning away, and also with the discard for the Farfa, gonna banish that Ignister for the turn. Cordero only on 3,000 life right now. So if he actually can manage to get another monster on field, he might actually have game here, because attacking over, that's going to be 550. And I think that's actually perfect game with the Beatrice, as it seems.
Is that?
I think it might be, yeah.
If that's perfect game, even with...
it's 2,500.
Oh, wow.
That's exact game.
It's impressive.
Wow.
Attaboy, Jamie.
That's really, really good. So it looks like JamieTheKid00 is going to take game 1.
That's a smack.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and see here. It looks like we're going to jump straight into game 2 to see what goes on now.
It's a nice opening hand. It's not a bad opening hand.
That's a pretty good opening hand. I don't know who... Oh, he's actually going first, too, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, he can make a nice... You could definitely get a nice setup out of this board. I haven't played this deck personally, but just looking at this hand, it seems like he has some pretty versatile plays.
No, it's pretty good. I mean, he can Geat Turtle Lizard draw. He can get his Pot of Greed, and then he opens up his Scales potentially as well. So he's got some. I mean, he can he can Monkey Board for Joker for something else.
Yeah.
And then he's got a lot he can do with this. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to go for Monkey Board now. Now the Scale's complete, so he can Pendulum Sorcerer and blow the Scales away if he wants to. He can create a pretty strong board, and he can even just end turn 1 with Abyss Dweller and anything else, and that's just going to create huge problems for Jamie.
I think the best play, I guess, would be like a Dweller and a Rafflesia, maybe?
Dweller Rafflesia would be pretty good. I mean, maybe Dynaster as well, because Jamie probably sided pretty hard into stuff to maybe stop the Scales.
Yeah.
So you probably want to also preserve your Scales. Oh, it looks like he's going to summon Second Donkey. That's actually probably better off, since Second Donkey's basically Joker when he has 2 Scales, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And looks like he's going to trigger both of them. So Second Donkey's going to grab a Search. He's going to use the Sorcerer to pop both Scales and grab 2 more cards out of his deck. God, that card is so fucking good.
Just say, I love how when you say it, you only notice it when you actually commentate. It's just like, let's get 2 cards. What? Just ends up with like 4 more cards in hand. It's like, okay, whatever.
Right. I know. Like, I remember watching videos of like OCG Pepe like in full power form, like with 3 Joker, 3 Monkey Board, and like the fact I'd see people go like +6 on turn 1, I'm just like, what the holy fuck? Like, we're gonna have to play this.
Yeah, it's a really sad glimpse. It's a scary glimpse into the future. That's why I don't follow the OCG. I don't want to know what terrors are coming our way.
Luckily, it was only full power Pepe only existed for a very, very short time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was another Konami memory, one for a story for the grandchildren.
It's okay though, because I feel like Dark Hole for the Dweller. Lucky for Jamie there. That's good. What I was gonna say is I really like I best borderline like tier like 0.5 mirror matches though, like kind of like Dragon Rulers, because it's like there is a lot of skill involved when you kind of remove the elements of like consistency, like when 2 players have 2 extremely strong decks to kind of see like how knowledgeable they are about the mirror match and see how that plays out. I actually find that really entertaining sometimes.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, especially in a deck where, like Dragon Rulers, where so many cards are the same and each player has 4 or 5 tech cards. And
right.
That's another element of skill where players kind of make it their own.
Absolutely, because like especially with Dragon Ruler format, it was about clearing your opponent's board, but you also had to make sure that you were ready for their next turn. Otherwise, they were going to do the exact same thing to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, using all your resources at the correct time. Otherwise, it can just basically be your downfall essentially.
Yeah.
So, looks like Jamie just doing what he does best, going into Dante. He does have to deal with the Curran here, which could potentially cause a problem because that could just bounce the Dante back. So I'm curious to see
what does he have,
how this goes on.
What does he have under the Dante?
I believe it's a Draghig and I think a Calcab. It's like two rather useless BAs.
Okay.
Unless he does something fancy. Actually, no, it looks like it was a Cagna.
Going to the Beatrice,
Excuse me. Yeah, so he's just going... Oh, no, he discarded the Cagna for the Beatrice, excuse me.
Okay.
So, interesting. So it looks like he's just going to go straight and attack over the Kirin. And it looks like he's going to use the effect of it just to bounce it right back. Interesting that he decided to go into... I'm not sure why he went into Beatrice if he knew it was going to be bounced. Maybe he wanted the Dante and Gray for, like, Seer recursion. I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, it looks like he's going to go ahead and eccentric away the back row, which is pretty strong. Yeah. Especially since Jamie only has one card right now.
Yeah, the Vexacus is feeling pretty good.
And it was Twin Twister on top of it. So now with Twin Twister out of the way, Cordero's pretty much free to just set up scales again. He's going to get his Pot of Greed, the get Turtle Lizard draw. He has the Joker, so he can pretty much search whatever scale he wants at this point. But he managed to draw into a low scale, so he can pretty much pendulum summon regardless at this point.
Yeah, and he's got a packed extra deck, so Jamie's not looking too good right now.
No, especially he only has one card. The only saving grace he really has at this point is like Dante being in grave. So unless he has like a Seer in hand or something to maybe start like a Seer Dante loop, it's not looking too good.
It's so weird that even though Jamie has the response for the Dweller, it's not enough. There's just so much that Pepe can do, and so much recycling. It's with the pendulum. It's gross. It's gross.
Mm-hmm. So we see now, it looks like Cordero's going to dig into the extra deck. I don't know what he's looking for at this point, because nothing's going to do as much damage as those two on field. So, it's really odd. I mean, he can possibly... Oh, it looks like he's going King of the Fairlimbs. Okay.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, he might want to grab the Masked Chameleon, so then he can... what was I going to say? He can normal that off and potentially what was I wanting to say? Actually, no, that's really odd. I was going to say, if he had the ability to pendulum and maybe get out another monster, he could go into Ignister, but he's just kind of leaving the Masked Chameleon out there just on its own. But maybe because Jamie only has one card, he feels comfortable doing that it's like the Masked Chameleon isn't a threat right now.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he just wants to poke for as much. Maybe he just saw that's the most damage you could get.
Yeah. Well, I think it was kind of equal just with the Joker and Master Pendulum. I think it was like almost the same amount of damage. I think he honestly just really... Ooh, that Foolish.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's really big right now. That could bring him back completely.
Does the Raccoon search a spell or trap?
The Raccoon searches, I believe, a monster.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a monster.
Okay. So, yeah.
So... Yep, and so that's what I was saying. So the Foolish helped him get into the Seer, and now Dante can just wall
Huge.
up. Ooh, instant fusion, though. That rip! Oh, my God.
Oh, are we going to see... I wonder if I'm going to see my first... what was it? Thousand Eyes. Thousand Eyes is back in the game. I totally forgot.
It is, because this game's actually being played under the new list, so it's definitely possible. I'm pretty sure he's going to go Norden, though. But he does play... Oh, wait a minute. You could be right.
That would be interesting. First... Oh, baby!
Oh, the Thousand Eyes makes its first appearance under the new list.
Look at this. GOAT format, boys.
Oh, my God. What year is this, ladies and gentlemen? What year is this?
Oh, my God. I never thought I'd see the day.
Oh my God, and we see a effect veiler on that. Luckily, he has the current to distribute over the Thousand Eyes, though, but... Oh, wow. So, he's going to be able to poke for another... Wait, did he forget to Pendulum Summon? Or did he not have anything else that he could bring out?
Well, like, I think he could have just gone for damage if he really wanted to.
Well, that's what I was saying, because he only has 200 life, so that's why I'm like, could he not game him?
Let's see when he goes to main phase 2. No, he couldn't have, I guess.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I guess he has 2 lizard draws, a Get Turtle, and the normal summon. Okay, so Jamie just scooping that up. We're going to go into Game 3 now. Really interesting turn of events. We saw Thousand Eyes make its first appearance. Thousand Eyes probably getting Veilered for the first time in its life because, you know, back when he was around, Effect Veiler didn't exist. So he's like, what the fuck is this card?
It's honestly hilarious. Like, I just burst out laughing at that. That's hilarious. I never thought I'd see the day.
The card interactions that you, like, never would expect from these older cards getting unbanned. It's like, oh, I actually have to worry about my Thousand Eyes getting Effect Veiler.
It's so unnatural. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Even just saying that is weird. Okay, so interestingly, Cordero actually... Wait, did Cordero search the high scale off the monkey board?
I think so. Yeah,
I missed... Yeah, I turned away from a second because I was going to say, why wouldn't he Gi Turtle first? So I must have... He must have done that, but
it doesn't
still
give him
a really
the
good
option.
opening because
he
has the second donkey and the Pendulum Wizard to pop the scales, so that's pretty strong.
Okay. Yeah, he has a fine opening hand.
Yeah. Again, as long as he just ends with Dweller anything, like, from playing Burning Abyss for so long, like, that's just...
That's really it, eh?
Effect Veiler on the Sorcerer, though.
Damn.
That's good. It doesn't really stop him too much. I mean, he can still overlay with it, luckily.
Yeah.
But, it's going to definitely stop Cordero just from getting a massive amount of advantage, so, I mean, that's good for him. So it looks like he's going to grab the Joker, which is going to be... That's a good choice, because now it's the not reliant, or I guess the non-conditional searcher.
Yeah. Man, Jamie is on point with these Veilers. He's a savage.
Yeah, these Veilers have come in really clutch for him.
Except for the one he had to normal summon. Except for that maybe that last one.
He already lost that game. But it's cool now, because that Odd Eyes Fusion's actually live.
Yeah, that's interesting. Very rarely do I actually see that card played.
Yeah, like Vortex Dragon does not make an appearance too often, but it looks like it's going to right now. Yeah. So this is going to be interesting. Vortex Dragon Dweller.
What does Vortex Dragon do again? You got to remind me.
So you basically target an attack position monster that they control, and it's I believe that you negate.
Okay.
I honestly don't even remember. My brain's slipping. I haven't seen Vortex Dragon in forever,
I could look that up.
Yeah. Or if Cordero just hovers over it for half a second. But that's okay. I believe Vortex Dragon like negates and destroys as a quick effect. But again, I could be wrong. I'm probably completely wrong.
Let's see. During either player's... Ugh, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Prices app keeps crashing. Never mind. Let's just stop this.
It's okay. It looks like he's going into Dweller.
Good for him.
Which is, like we kind of discussed, is pretty good.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Burning
leaving
Abyss,
Joker
Dweller.
on the field.
Okay.
And so now I'm curious to see if Jamie is a god and can, get a Dweller and Dweller and some way to Dark Hole and like a Veiler or some way to just pretty much negate the Dweller again.
He probably has bear outs. Burning Abyss has like 2 threats: continuous spell and traps like Defisher and Macro, and Dweller. Those are like really Burning Abyss's only 2 problems, I'm pretty sure. And maybe a Dark Destroyer.
Okay. So Vortex Dragon it has an on-summon effect, which is irrelevant right now, but during either player's turn when a spell or trap card or another monster effect is activated, you shuffle one face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to the deck, you negate the activation, and destroy the card.
Heavy.
So I was right. It does negate and destroy, but you do have to shuffle away something from your extra deck. But that's still really, really good, especially being able to have with Dweller Dweller Odd Eyes. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay, so it looks like the Beatrice is going to attempt to attack right over the Dweller, which is pretty good because it actually dodged Vortex Dragon, because Vortex Dragon has to pretty much respond to the activation of an effect. So he managed to clear the Dweller, somewhat effectively. but he's going to be able to... Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Oh, okay, he's going to MST the monkey board. That's actually pretty good, because now he can't Pendulum Summon, but it looks like he's going to Vortex Dragon that.
Mm-hmm. It does put pressure on Vexacus.
A little bit, because the thing is now, Vexacus doesn't have anything to Pendulum Summon, and so I actually think that was a really good call by Jamie, because had he been able to do that, he could have popped both of his scales and gotten 2 new cards. Just off of the 1 Pendulum Summon of the... And he would have drawn into Master, so technically he could have Pendulum Summoned 2, grabbed something else he could have Normal Summoned, and just further extended his play. And now the Vortex Dragon's actually a dead card, because there's nothing left in his Pendulum Zone for him to be able to use to negate this Beatrice right now.
Wow.
So that was actually a really, really strong MST by Jamie. Kudos to him.
I guess it's interesting how something like an MST could have such a great, a complex impact on the game. Shows how far this game has come in terms of actual complexity.
Yeah, I mean, it also shows just the skill level of the players as well. Just being able to just kind of realize how, being able to think, I guess, that far ahead as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, looks like now, Cordero's kind of just stuck, because all he has is the Vortex Dragon and the Joker that can't do anything. And with nothing else left, he has to end his turn. The Master will return, and Jamie can maybe turn this around in his favor. I guess we'll see.
3 cards is a good amount, especially with the Beatrice, like a way to get the effects off instantly.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like technically he has 5 cards with Beatrice, because he can detach the Rhino, which is 4, and then whatever he sends is like his 5th card, so it's really like he has more than just those few. So the biggest threat at this point is the Vortex Dragon, because the issue is you don't want to get the monsters in the Pendulum Zone before you clear the Vortex Dragon. But you also need to clear the monsters, because otherwise he'll overlay with them and make, something, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So it's kind of paradoxical right now how he needs to deal with this board. So he's going to send Skarm off of the Beatrice, and now Rhino's going to get a chance to send something. You could maybe Farfa something at this point. Oh, he's going to send Seer and probably grab back the Dante. So he could go into a second Beatrice here, potentially.
He could just have a lot of resources in hand and understand that he has ways to constantly reuse them. I think that's what he's kind of going for.
And it looks like he's going into that second Beatrice by discarding that Farfa. So Farfa's going to get a chance to trigger now. So he's probably going to remove the Vortex Dragon. Yeah, and it looks like that's what he's doing.
There you have it. That's a clear board.
Yeah. So now it looks like he's just going to attack over the 2 Pendulums. He really doesn't have a choice. He kind of just has to attack over them. And maybe he has like Twin Twister in hand to maybe deal with the Pendulum Scales to prevent them from coming back. Although, that Vortex Dragon will be back to pretty much deal with that is the sad thing. So I'm curious to see kind of what Jamie's thinking in terms of long-term solutions here to the Vortex Dragon.
Oof. Honestly, Jamie's not even in the worst position. Because, yes, he has 3 monsters he could Pendulum... Vexacus has 3 monsters he could Pendulum Summon, but what can he really... Oh, he's 4... no, 3 monsters he could Pendulum Summon. Yeah, what's he really going to do with that? The Dweller is used up, and, so many effects can trigger from between now and whatever he decides to bring out to deal with one or maybe both of those Beatrices, and whatever comes next once either of them trigger. So... I think, that's it.
Ooh, interesting. Max C coming down. And it's going to be interesting, too. You see Vexacus purposely left the Joker in the extra deck so that he has a target for Vortex Dragon to be able to negate. So the thing is, though, it's like you were saying, though, now that Jamie has 2 Beatrices on the field, he can actually resolve both. So he can negate one effect, but the other one's still more than likely going to get through. And... At this point, clearing the Beatrices without, this is where having 2 Ignisters might be useful, because, even if he could go into it, let's just say, because clearing the Beatrice without not destroying it is just as difficult as, just leaving it on the field, so.
Yeah, but the Maxi adds so much to that now. It changes the entire game. Because even if he could go into 2 Ignisters, imagine how much special summoning he'd actually need in order to do that. Now that he's under max C, he has to rethink his entire strategy.
Oh, this is actually a really good play because Utopia the Lightning is an out to Beatrice.
Okay, he might... I completely forgot about that. I kind of stopped playing right before that came out, so this will be interesting.
Yeah, so the thing is, though, it depends on if Cordero can make it stick. It looks like he's going to attempt to, but this is exactly what I was saying with the double Beatrice. So it's really unfortunate that you don't have to send with... what am I trying to say? That you don't have to send with Beatrice before resolution of effect, because in that way, Jamie can just decide on what he needs to send to get rid of the Utopia now. So this is actually really good, because now that Seer is going to trigger Get Out of Farfa, which is then going to banish the Utopia, and Beatrice is also going to trigger, which is going to leave him with a Pilgrim on field, and then just leave Jamie in an incredibly strong position. So there comes the Farfa, immediately getting destroyed, and now he's going to remove that Utopia, which... that was a really good idea, but the double Beatrice is just too strong in that situation to be able to fight back against.
I'm trying to think right now. Now that I remember Pilgrim's a thing now, I'm kind of thinking, like, do you think Konami was just like, okay, this, like, fusion monster, or what is it? It's a fusion, yeah. This fusion sucks. There's no way to get it out. How are we going to make this relevant? Oh, we'll just make an Xyz and throw on the effect at the end. You get to summon one, ignore the summon. It's such a lazy attempt at, like, a failed mechanic.
Well, it's okay, because, they still can't summon Malakota with that, so Malakota is still just as useless. Oh my god, he has the tour guide too. I think this is it.
No.
I think this is it. He removed the Vortex Dragon, which the only reason that was a problem was because it has a 3k ass, and now that he's gotten rid of that, this might be it.
That was... this is such a savage game. Oh my god.
He can do 300 with Pilgrim attacking over the Utopia, which puts him down to 5650. That's 6,000 right there.
Yep.
Or excuse me, 5,000. He just needs to send a Barbar to win at this point. But it's interesting to see what is going to happen now.
What a savage. Jamie, what a savage.
The comeback. Oh no, that's actually going to do it.
Wow.
That's it.
What a match.
It looks like JamieTheKid00 defeats Vexacus466 in probably one of the best matches that we've seen in the tournament. So, thank you all so much for watching the video, and we will see you in the next match.